But it was at the other end, on the other side.
Howdy, X.
Howdy.
Welcome to Monday lunch. Before we get started, I'd like to have Mr. Kimbrough come up for prayer and pledge. Maybe a little story.
My mama didn't name me mister.
I've been asked to tell a story. I'm going to tell one that I've told before, but you may not remember it. This supposedly was a true story. You can decide for yourself whether you're going to believe it or not. But there was a fellow in Nacogdoches, Texas, had to make a breakfast speech in Longview. And he got a little bit of a late start. So he was wheeling down the road and highway patrolman pulled him over. Said, "Mister, you were really hauling it down the road." He said, "Let me see your driver's license and insurance card." He said, "I don't have a driver's license and I don't have an insurance card." He said, "As a matter of fact, if you open the trunk, you'll find the body back there in the trunk." He said, "You just hold what you got there, buddy. Just stay where you are. I'm calling the sergeant." Sergeant rolls up, talks to the trooper, goes over to this fellow and he says, "Let me see your driver's license and your insurance card." And he goes in his billfold, pulls out his driver's license, goes box in his car, pulls out his insurance card. He said, "Open up the trunk. This fellow told me you had a body in the trunk." He said, "Yeah, and I bet you he told you I was doing 80 miles an hour too." Pray with me, please. Loving Heavenly Father, we thank you again for the blessings you've given us. And Father, we ask that you bless our country, bless our leaders, and above all, we pray for wisdom. wisdom to govern, wisdom to do business, wisdom just to live by. And Father, be with our school, be with our students. May they all prosper. And we ask you to guide us and draw us near to you and be with us as we do our daily lives. In your name we pray, amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And the flags are misplaced. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee. Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible.
Here you go.
All right, Reagan Fryling couldn't be here today to introduce our speaker. We're going to change things up a little bit. And so before I introduce today's speaker, I want you to know that he's got a Board of Governors meeting at 1:30 and has graciously fit us into his busy schedule. And I told him we can get him out of here by 12:30. So I'm going to start by claiming him as one of our very own. He attended Virginia Aldrich Stacy Junior Senior High School at Lackland Air Force Base as a freshman and sophomore. And Mr. Smith spent his junior and senior years as defensive end and linebacker at San Antonio's Taft High School, where he earned all district and co-defensive most valuable player honors, playing for former coach Lee Bridges. His senior team was runner-up in the Texas Class 5A state championship at 2001. Mr. Smith earned a bachelor's degree in economics and a master's degree of natural and applied sciences from Oklahoma State University, where he played defensive end from 2002 to 2006. He was a three-time recipient of the Arthur Ashe Scholar Award at OSU. He earned second-team honors on ESPN, the magazine's Academic All-America team. He received the John McClendon Minority Foundation Scholarship. Darnell Smith is the inaugural Director of Intercollegiate Athletics and Recreational Sports Program for Texas A&M University, San Antonio. He's in charge of creating the first intercollegiate athletics program in South Bexar County. Would y'all please welcome Mr. Darnell Smith.
Hello, everybody. Hello. Hello. All right, that's what I'm talking about. I'm excited to be here again, for y'all to welcome me back. As mentioned, I'm the inaugural athletic director at Texas A&M University, San Antonio, and I like to say that we are building champions on a mission. For some of you all who have had the opportunity to kind of see this presentation before, I apologize, it may look very similar, but for those that have not had the chance, please take a look at some of these slides as I go through. I want to show you, I want to update you on some of the amazing things, the milestones that we've been able to accomplish on the South Side at my institution. Visually, whenever you drive down University Way, and it's about a mile. So if you go towards Lackland Air Force Base, like you're going down 410, and continue to go south on 410, in between Lackland and Brooks City Base, you'll find our institution. It's a mile south off of 410, right there in the middle. But as you get to this campus, I believe that there's always a wow factor. And that's what I like to try to do. Anytime that we're recruiting, our coaches are recruiting, anytime I talk about my opportunity, my experience, it's going to be a wow factor. This campus is 10 years young as a standalone institution. And part of that is to be able to boost enrollment, but also as we are growing, is to be able to build partners to be able to grow with us. So as you get to know us, right off the bat, our colors are black and silver. And there's maroon, Magla maroon, that's in there. Named after Senator Magla, who was very instrumental in helping us get the institution there. Our mascot is a jaguar, and his name is General. Our student athletes had a cumulative GPA of 3.03 this past fall. Now, I want to highlight this. These are just some things about our institution so you can get to know us. I'm very, very proud of our student athletes. So I started January of 2020. I was the athletic department, and the athletic department was me. And then all of a sudden it was, as I'm building, hey, this COVID thing is here. And what does that mean? You start to see teams, March Madness shutting down, NCAA shutting down, things are shutting down. But yet, you know, the type of individual that I am and the confidence that was instilled in me said, look, in spite of all this, I must forge ahead. I must press on. We have to be able to do this because it means so much. This is beyond me. You know, I'm just a lucky guy who gets the opportunity to build this, build a legacy, to create something that people can take pride in, that something that people can look at just not now, but in the future. So for our student athletes, this past fall, we were able to, in such a short period of time, our coaches were able to recruit, have a team, even though we did not play, our student athletes still took it upon themselves to take their academics seriously. My goal was to, at first, hey, we wanted to try to get to a 2.5 cumulative GPA. But the fact is, this past fall, they reached a 3.03. So if I could ask y'all, just give them a round of applause. It's exciting. Because this is the first of many. So by this fall, 2021, I expect that there's going to be roughly 80 student athletes. We are growing. Unfortunately, again, due to COVID, I was not able to launch the sports that I wanted to, our fall sports. So soccer, men and women's soccer were our two fall sports. We had to delay that to the fall of 21. So right now, the two sports that we are launching with is softball and men's golf. Keeping in mind Title IX and other things, very strategically placed with these sports. And yes, the question came up about, what about basketball? Hopefully it's coming in the future. And then the other question, well, what about football? And I'm like, yeah, well, what about football? So no, but ideally we want to grow. We want to grow strategically. We want to grow in smart ways. And so, yes, football can be part of that discussion point, but we can talk about that because it's going to take a lot of support for us to get us there. But very excited for how we're growing right now and the milestones that we're reaching. In addition to, A&M San Antonio is located on the south side of San Antonio, as I mentioned. There's roughly about, our campus sits on roughly about 700 acres. Yes, 700 acres of land. And we're just north of the Toyota manufacturing plant that's there. And with all that land comes opportunity to grow. We're looking at trying to build a building, not just athletically, wish I could do this, but academically, we're looking at trying to build a building every single year that also includes athletics facilities. So when you think about, well, Darnell, so, how can we help? If you're an ambitious individual, or ambitious individuals that say, look, I want to create a legacy too. We got buildings, we're going to have buildings. There's opportunities to put your name or someone else's name or the sponsor. It's a blank canvas. And you could create this as much as I can too. And so my goal is to create partnerships. My goal is to create opportunity. Just like when I look at my student athletes, I want to get them from point A to point B. I want to get them from, hey, I'm a freshman, to I have a quality degree, and I'm going to go out there and conquer the world because of what I've learned on your campus. So A&M San Antonio is a proud Hispanic serving institution. We built that right into the fabric of our mission statement. We built that right into the fabric of who we are. Over 70% of our student population are Hispanic. And again, where we're placed at is very strategic. Not just because we want to be able to grow, we want to have nice things there, but we want to help, we want to serve in underserved communities. We want to serve in low-income communities. We want to serve not just here in San Antonio, but reach far beyond the walls of San Antonio and become a staple point for the region, for the state, for the country. We want our name to be synonymous with excellence, and that's what we're going to try to do. So A&M San Antonio is one of the fastest growing institutions in the city and in the state. Right now, currently, we sit at, 7,000 enrollment, as you can see, pushing there. With COVID, obviously, we're no exception to what has happened, and we're looking at trying to sustain those numbers and be able to grow every year if we can. We have 70% of our first generation. Think back to your time when you first entered college, or you know someone who first entered college that was a first generation student. Think back to your time when, hey, in your mind, this is what you think about a college experience. 70% are first generation. And we believe in creating meaningful, memorable experiences. A lot of the work and the student services that we do are catered towards the students and the first generation. But not just that, 1 in 6 of our students are military connected. And this is one of the honors, again, to get the chance to speak in front of you. I am the son of a man that was, my father that was in the military. He was in the Air Force and served faithfully for 22 years. Anytime I get a chance to celebrate those who have served, I will do that. So if I could at this time, if you've served in the military or if you're affiliated with the military, could you raise your hand, please? Even those that are watching online. Absolutely. I want you to know that I salute you. And everyone, please, could you give everyone a round of applause that have served or have known someone that has served in the military or protected our country? So honored. So honored to be not just part of the A&M family, but a part of this military family. A&M San Antonio is military embracing. 1 in 6 of our students are military connected. We have over 30 plus academic programs. So academics is something that we take very seriously. But again, it's not just about get your degree, get in, get out. This is about how are we developing? How are we creating legacies? What kind of experience are you going to have? Because then therefore, can that be reciprocated in the future? We want to create jobs. These are the future leaders. So as Logan talked about my background, I'll just go this very quickly. You see the diagram there. Lackland, where I grew up, from the time I was 10 to 18, San Antonio is my home. It is my home. I got a full scholarship to play football, or after Lackland went to Taft, I got a full scholarship to play football at Oklahoma State. Got lots of great stories. So if y'all want to catch me at some point when I'm free, I know that people have questions about, well, what about when you played against Bethel Johnson? By the way, Bethel Johnson, wide receiver from early 2000s, was one of the fastest individuals I've ever seen with pads on. And I'm not going to embarrass myself right now, but I'll tell you about that offline. And I also had the opportunity to work for the United States Olympic Training Center out there in Colorado Springs, the headquarters there. I wanted to get back into college athletics. When I was at Oklahoma State, this is where life pretty much changed for me. And my career trajectory took me down the road of athletic director. I said to myself, based on my experience and based on some of the things I see, I want to be a part of this. I want to be a part of creating change, be able to help people find their purpose, their why, and to help them get there. As a leader, as an athletic director, I know what it takes because I've been there. Someone believed in me. Dr. Matson, the president at A&M San Antonio, she believed in me. The cabinet believed in me. And so I appreciate them because it takes someone to say, look, I believe in you. Just like when we look to build partnerships, and I talk about some of the future events and what's happening at A&M San Antonio, I hope that you too can believe in me and believe in the leadership at A&M San Antonio, what we're trying to do, and be on board some way. It's not always about money, although that's nice, but it's not always about money. It's about partnerships. As mentioned earlier, family. We are a family. Support, and we'll talk about that here in a little bit. So I got into the United States Olympic Committee. I left to the University of New Mexico, become the director of athletic compliance. That was, in my mind, the pathway to get to becoming an athletic director. And when the opportunity presented itself at UCO, I took it and became the assistant athletic director overseeing compliance and student athlete services. Plus, it doesn't hurt that my wife's from Oklahoma City, and I'm a big philosopher and believer in happy wife, happy wife. Can I get an applause there? Yes. Amen. Got that. So a little bit more about me: family, faith, integrity, character, hard work. These are my core values. It's what I breathe. It's natural for me. I don't really like to boast about myself, but I will talk to you about what I believe in. The student athlete experience, as I just got through talking about, and we'll continue to talk about academic and athletic excellence. Yes, we want to win. Yes, we want to do great things, but at what cost? Not at the cost of not being involved or engaged in the community. No, we will do that. Servant leaders. We're going to win, but not at the cost of your degree. No, academics is first. And we will steadily get there. So what I'm trying to do is build culture. Build culture. San Antonio is my home. I played Little League here. I grew up here. I have so many stories. As I was saying earlier, in a conversation, I remember like on the Northwest side, going down 151 Military Drive, there were cows coming across the road. And I remember at Taft High School where you have the 2-lane road, there was like this old gas station that was right there on the corner. And I was like, really? Who still has this gas station there? It looked like it came from 1905 or something. But no, the progress in such a short period of time, look at what has happened. And what we're about to do on the South Side, again, just projecting is going to be simply amazing. We're building, we're creating, we're transforming, creating experiences. And also, future Dr. Darnell Smith, I'd like to say this because when you speak it into existence, it's bound to happen. So I am working on my doctorate as we speak. I'm in dissertation phase. And I hope to be done, hopefully next year. But that's just many things. Again, I just don't talk about academics. I believe it, I live it. And it's just a part of who I am. All right, so our mission. We want to provide opportunities through the pursuit of academic excellence, service to others, pursuit of athletic achievement. Our vision, we're in the NAIA, so not very similar, but in association status in NCAA. NAIA is its own governing body, but very competitive. Very competitive. So we want to be elite in everything we do, especially in the NAIA. So we are champions in the classroom and on the field. We're character driven. We're proud, hardworking, and we're aspiring to greatness. We're servant leaders, serving the common good. I said, again, just to reiterate, and we're strong, represent a diverse community on the national stage. So some of the goals there: academic excellence, pursuit of championships, compliance, institution visibility, fundraising. So I want to stress the institution of visibility. We want this to be a success, and whatever that means. But being on the South Side, and this being the first year, it's about how can I get the name out there? To let people know we are here. And that's part of the support too. Being able to say, hey, look, don't sleep on that institution down south. I'm telling you, they're on the rise. Little things like that could be big things for us. And again, part of this family is about sharing the word, the good word. So some of the coaches, or all of our coaches at this point, minus our esports head coach, are listed right there. So again, we have 4 sports: softball, which is Coach DeFore, and she's from the South Side. She went to Southside High School. And was a top athlete there, and went on to get into the coaching ranks. And glad to have her. And Coach Christy Cano, some may already be familiar with Coach Cano. She is in the San Antonio Independent School District Hall of Fame. She also played professionally in golf. I mean, I could go on and on and on, but not enough time to go through a lot of her accolades. But she's a legend in some respects. And she coaches our men's golf program. Coach Pierce coaches our women's soccer program, and Coach Beard coaches our head men's soccer program. And so I have a dynamic team that I hope to continue to build upon. If you see here, and I apologize if it's a little bit faint, but I wanted to show you visually what I'm up against. And not to be competitive against anybody, it's just to say, look, if we're gonna build something, we're gonna build facilities, and we're gonna claim our stake on the south side, I wanna have something that our students, our community can really, really appreciate. So all these numbers that's around, these are facilities through like the county bonds, for example. So if you look at UTSA, if you look at St. Mary's, how they were able to take full advantage of the county bonds, but these facilities that were also open to the public, however it's been arranged. But when you look at the star if you look due south, you see that star that's at the bottom of the map. There's nothing else around it. That star is A&M San Antonio. That's where we're located. Everything else that you see has a facility or a top-notch field or something that people have been able to take advantage of to build for the greater good. South of 410, very barren. Well, there's, you got the Mission City Soccer Complex way down there, by 1604, but still, in between there, we are it. A&M San Antonio, the opportunities to be able to grow, the impact for a community is there. And so when you look at the demographics of the region, highly Hispanic, or you look at the ratios between the income to race disparity, all these things can be found on the city's website that I researched and looked into. We have a prime opportunity to build something great that will be historic, is a word I like to use. And not just that, it's not something to say, well, we could build onto it maybe down the road, but this will be the first. This will be creating a legacy. Right now, we have a soccer field and we have a softball field, and I'm very excited about that because it used to just be Weisach trees and cacti and everything else when I first started. But now we got a field. We got fields. But you know what? I'm an ambitious individual, as we like to say on our campus. I like to be audacious. And so I like to think big. So this is, again, visually, you'll see some pictures of what the fields look like from the fourth floor of our academic building. And I really like this shot. I took the picture, so I like to consider myself an amateur photographer every now and then, but I just really like this picture. So this is from home plate looking back to the campus. So from where it's located, if you can tell from this map, where it's located, the softball field, it looks back at our main focal point, that being the dome. I mean, it's beautiful. As I started off by saying the wow factor, there's the opportunity to create that and sustain that emotion for a long time. We can build it together, or you can point me in the right direction on how we can do this together. And then that's our soccer field right next to the softball field. So competitively, our golf team, they use the Golf Club of Texas right now for practice. Our softball team uses the Tejada Sports Complex, and tapping into our partnerships with the Aspire group. So Harlandale has been gracious enough to be able to work with us. And so with that, we're growing, we're building. I don't want to just stop there. I want to be able to take it to the next level. Again, the question came up about, at some point about football or basketball, or when we're going to play UTSA, you know, maybe have that subdivisional competitiveness. Well, we can get there. But as you know, there's a lot of factors to play into that, and we could talk about what that means. Part of the future, and this is the future. Now, I put a date here, but it's all to be determined based on enrollment or some of the other factors that may come into it, budget permitting. But a recreation center is what I'm trying to build right now. The students don't have one. So in this recreation center, we're looking at building a competitive gymnasium or competitive atmosphere. It's going to have a gymnasium, hopefully, state-of-the-art weight room, looking at fitness rooms, all these things for the students, but also utilizing this same facility to be able to house our men's and women's basketball program. Softball stadium. I talked about, you saw the pictures of where we are now. This is where I want to go. And if you could help me get there, it'd be awesome, fantastic. And again, it's not about money. It's about being able to partner, advice. It's about pointing me in a direction, or, hey, Darnell, have you thought about this? Anything like that. Again, part of this family is being able to support each other. But I believe our students deserve the best. I believe A&M family deserves the best. And the facilities that we build in the direction that we're going, we're shooting for excellence. Another, a soccer field, competitive soccer field with lights, because right now we don't have lights. It'd be nice to be able to expand our opportunities to be able to compete at night, allow families to be able to come in, and allow for more people to be at games. You only get so many times to be able to do it the first time. And building this would be the first time that it's ever been done on campus. Legacy. So we'll look to have a track around it, something for the community, for the public. We believe in the health and well-being and those initiatives. And how can people take a full advantage of that? So right now, if you go to the campus, you'll see that there's been work. I think Southstar has come in and they're excavating the land. They're going to build a community north of the campus. But not just that, there's going to be restaurants. There's going to be other activities. There's going to be things happening. Things are buzzing around the campus, to put it lightly. Athletics is going to be a part of that future, and we're going to tie it all together. And I know I can't do it alone, and that's why I'm here. Not just to see all the good-looking faces out here. I wonder who's thinking like, yeah, he's definitely talking about me right now. And those online, I haven't forgotten about you. But no, it's not just for that. It's really one, I want to reintroduce myself to show you kind of where we're at, to talk about my priorities, my goals, and to let you know there's ample ways to support and help. And I can use every bit of it. And to give you an update, our softball team, where we were and where we are now, our softball team is sitting at 5-6. There's about 3 games that they wish they could have got back. So in spite of everything, they are competing. They are competitive in their inaugural year. And they got a couple of conference games coming up. Our first home game is going to be at the Tejada Sports Complex on the 29th against the University of Southwest. There's going to be some options online to be able to I want to say purchase, because we're not going to charge, at least this time, at least for this year, given everything. But there's going to be some opportunities as a first come, first serve to be able to sign up. And we'd love to have you all there. It is restricted seating, at least at this point. But again, we're going to do our best to make sure it's streaming, so we'll be looking online for all of that. So I will close with this. Thank you for the opportunity to be here, to be in front of you. Thank you for being part of this family that is so dynamic, that is so supportive, and that wants excellence just the way that I do. Thank you to all those who have served in the military and that continue to serve our country in many different ways. I thank everyone for the time. If there's any questions, I can take that right now. I got about maybe like 3 minutes and then, or 5 minutes, and I got to head out. But thank you. Yes.
What's y'all's enrollment goal, say, over the next 10 years? How big y'all think y'all are gonna be growing to?
You say 10 years? Well, as much as possible. No, I will say that we're projected hopefully to get through the next 2 or 3 years and maybe like 1 to 2% enrollment growth over the next 3 years. And then maybe years 3 to 5, hopefully we can sustain it at 2 to 3. Now I can't speak on behalf of enrollment, but just my opinion, we would like to hopefully, if we could, shoot for the moon, get to 5%. But again, we have to be very conservative, considering that enrollment is tied to a lot of things financially in the budget. But I can project that to say that we could get there if all of the things and the stars fall into place. So possibly looking at, hope we can grow to, over the next 10 years, hope we can get to 10 to 12,000, potentially, hopefully. That's it. Yes, sir.
How many total acres does the campus have?
So the question was, how many total acres does the campus have? Right now, it's close to 700 acres for the campus. Yes, sir.
Who's in the conference?
So in our conference, we're part of the Red River. The question was who's in the conference, and so we're part of the Red River Athletic Conference. And again, that's an NAIA conference. Other teams like Our Lady of the Lake, which I guess would be our intercity rival. I mean, they're pretty formidable in some sports, but also looking at University of Houston, Victoria, LSU, Alexandria, LSU, Shreveport, University of Southwest, even out there in New Mexico. But a lot of the schools are, I would say, within a good, reasonable driving distance. I get like Houston Tillotson, for example. So these teams represent, and we're also trying to expand our conference by bringing in Xavier from Louisiana and some other institutions. All right. Well, I have business cards. I'll leave them with Logan. I'll leave them on the desk. But if there's anything that I can do for you, please do not hesitate to contact me, okay? Give yourself a round of applause, by the way.
Darnell, we've got a gift bag here from Enchanted Rock Vodka. You'll want to open that after about 5:30.
Yeah, but I still gotta go back to the academy.
So thank you very much for coming in and letting us know the progress you're making over there. It's real exciting to see the sports being built on the south side of San Antonio like that, and Texas A&M San Antonio growing. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
I remember way back when.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Is he still eccentric, as we say?
I don't think he's retired yet out there, but he's not coaching anymore. He's just teaching them.
Wow.
We've got too much for him, you know, legs go and stuff like that, but he.
All right, we're going to just go through our normal announcements now. We do have a couple of silver taps to announce. Ann Chandler, class of 75, and James Parker, class of 47. So if y'all could just take a second to have a moment of silence to honor those Aggies.
Yeah, I got one. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Do we have any new members or guests today? No new members, no guests. Bunch of, it's the same old guys I see every week here, isn't it? Aggie Athletics. We got a big game tonight. Women are playing Troy State in the first round of the tournament. That's here in about 4 hours, 4.5 hours. On the team, Nadea Jones and Aaliyah Wilson both were voted for AP All-Americans. And Coach Blair is a finalist for Coach of the Year. So it's pretty exciting. Baseball team slipped up a little bit. They got swept by Florida, but they're 15-7 overall. Aggie softball is doing great. They're 20-4. They've got a series against South Carolina. It's ranked 24 coming up this weekend in College Station. And the women's track team placed second at the NCAA indoor track meet a while back. So let's see, I have one other announcement. Glenda's not here. She left already, but today was her birthday. So next time y'all see her, tell her happy birthday. I think she turned 29 today.
Yeah.
All right, Aggie Park Capital Campaign. We've got some more donations that have come in. They're not quite up there yet, but currently 1.39 million raised. So we're getting close. 112,000 to go for the matching donation from May's Family Foundation. And it's updated right here. How about that?
Beautiful.
We're getting closer. Aggie muster. We are going to have muster at the park, but it's going to be, we're going to have to do some restricted attendance for family and friends of those that are on the roll call list. Right now, the current limit is 2 guests per roll call name, and we're going to live stream the event like we did last year. We've got the Aggie Family Barbecue coming up May 1st. We moved it up a little bit as we got the construction of the park is going to start in May. And so that'll be kind of one of the last 2 raws out here. So everybody come out for a good time, good barbecue. Fiesta medals, guys. Fiesta got pushed back to June, so that gives everybody time to save up a little bit of money and buy their 2021 medals. And we'll throw in a 2020 medal for half price if you do that. Member directory. There's a sign-up sheet at the front. We don't have a sign-up or an actual sign announcing it, but we've got a sign-up sheet to make sure that everybody's information is current and up to date for the 100th anniversary membership directory. So if you haven't paid your dues, get those paid, and if you need to update your information, please get that in so that we can have that to commemorate in that directory. We've got plenty of swag gear that's on the website. If you just click on that, you can purchase shirts, hats, hoodies. We've got all kinds of stuff. Like I said, Reagan was unable to make it, but he's got his upcoming Monday lunch list right here. March 29th, we got the Mayor of Bryan, Andrew Nelson. Then April 5th, Linda LaMantia, she's the chairman of the A&M PAC. April 12th is Jacob West from Bartlett Tree Experts. April 19th, Mike Smith, Department of Criminology and Criminal Justice at UTSA. April 26th is open right now. And May 3rd, Philip De La Pena, who's going to speak about Cinco de Mayo and give a little bit of history background on that. We had a golf tournament this last week. It was, we had a damn good turnout. We had over 144 players, so we had some extras running around. One of those extras, he's standing in the back right there, Tony Kamen. I know he had a damn good time. He played with Spencer Neely and some guys, and Did y'all drink a beer a hole, or was that a beer every other hole? A shot a hole, not a golf shot. So lots of shots. We've got the most honest team is here. Dr. Mays and Charlie Brame and his team. Most honest team, and then the most dishonest team. Both were Aggie Park members, so that was really good. Last couple of years, I think some T-Sips won the tournament, so it was really good that we got in there and took the title again. So thank y'all to everyone that came out. I see a lot of y'all here, and it was a really good time. And Don Priest and Vince Wu were the chair and co-chair of that event. Steve Peterson was a big help. It was a real group effort. David Gay was out there volunteering. It was a great turnout. So thank you all for that. And gig 'em. We'll see you guys next week.
Gig 'em.